Our first lesson is taken from a work that Emanuel Swedenborg wrote, and at the beginning of this work, or this book, let me hold up a copy of Heaven and Hell. This was the original first edition in English. The book was written in Latin, and then it's hard to see perhaps, but it's an old leather-bound book that was translated from the Latin into the English. So this is a 1778. That's a long time ago edition of Heaven and Hell. So let me read what was written right in number 1, the first paragraph. We're told that this book, Heaven and Hell, has secrets, and these secrets are being revealed to the people of the church, because people today hardly know anything about the matters of heaven and hell and about a person's life after death, although all the matters are plainly set forth in the Word or the Bible. And yet many people born inside the church, where the Bible or the Word is read, they say in their hearts, "Who has come from that world to tell us?" Therefore, Swedenborg tells us, so that a spirit of denial, which can especially be a big thing in the hearts of people who are well educated, that spirit of denial, so that it won't prevail or infect simple people who want to love the Lord, he says, "It has been granted to me to associate now with angels and talk with them face to face, and to see what is in the heavens and in the hells. And now it's been granted that I can describe these, in the hope that ignorance," that's when you don't know something, "that ignorance can be enlightened," obviously then you would know something, "and unbelief dissipated." That's when something just disappears. "Such immediate revelation is granted at this day, because this is what is meant by the coming of the Lord." This is what is meant by the coming of the Lord. To think that by publishing a book, the Lord could come again. You know, people have been waiting a long time. When Jesus was on earth, he talked about his return, that he would come back. And at one time, the disciples were really upset because he was talking all about when he would return. And they said, "Let us know. How's this going to be?" And he said, "The hour and the time will not be known. It's not even known to the angels," he said. So, this church, the new church, the church of the New Jerusalem, is based on the Lord talking to Swedenborg and saying, "I want you to be the way I make my second coming." The Lord isn't going to make a second coming, and he hasn't made a second coming by coming again as a person, being born again as a baby. What he did was, he took a person from earth and brought them up into heaven, where they could see and understand all the things about what heaven is, how it's made up, how the angels live. And then he especially took the teachings from the Word. We have a copy of the Word on the altar behind us. He took a person who could read the Word and then see how the Lord is in those words, in those stories, in those ideas, how that's all really a story about Jesus Christ. It's all really a story internally, deeply concerning how the Lord is our God. And so this one book, Heaven and Hell, really talks about who the God of heaven is and how the angels live, what they do, and even talks about what hell is like. And people who choose not to be in heaven with angels, they have their own place to be. Who's come back to tell us? Well, we're blessed to know that Emanuel Swedenborg was the one chosen to be able to see these things of the other world and to come back and to tell us. And he says, this is what is meant by the advent of the Lord. These teachings, all the writings that Emanuel Swedenborg had published, all those things are where the Lord's second coming has and is taking place. It does no good for a book to just sit on a shelf without being read. The idea is that we need to take the teachings that are in the Word, whether it's the word of the Old Testament or the word of the New Testament or the word of the new church. We have to take those things and live them. How many people didn't know when Jesus Christ was born on earth? We celebrate Christmas just a few weeks back, and wise men came and some shepherds came, and all the rest of the world didn't know about him. And then they started to learn because people began to live and listen to what he was saying and teach it to other people. And it's the same thing with the Lord's second coming. How many people know about it? Not a whole lot. What's our job who know about it? To listen, to read, to understand, and try to take those teachings that we know about heaven and hell and about the Lord, about life after death, about loving the things of marriage, the best ways to love our neighbor. Take those things and learn them. And then the second coming not only has happened in a book or at a certain time of something being published, but more importantly, it happens within us. The Lord comes to us, and that also is the Lord's advent. Amen.